Richard Rorty, 1931-2007, stands as a pivotal figure in the landscape of 20th century American philosophy. Born in New York, Rorty's intellectual journey led him to become a prominent philosopher whose ideas resonated across diverse fields of philosophy. While he may not be strictly considered a Southern philosopher by birth, Rorty spent a significant portion of his academic career in the Southern United States, notably at the University of Virginia, where his contributions to the philosophical discourse flourished. Rorty's philosophical trajectory is marked by a departure from traditional analytic philosophy, and he embraced a pragmatic and anti-foundationalist perspective. His early work, particularly Philosophy and the Mirror of Nature, challenged the representationalist assumptions prevalent in analytic philosophy at the time. Rorty argued for a linguistic turn that focused on the use of language rather than uncovering a supposed underlying reality. A key proponent of the pragmatist tradition, Rorty engaged with the works of classical American philosophers like William James and John Dewey. His later writings, such as Contingency, Irony, and Solidarity, delved into questions of ethics, politics, and the role of the intellectual in society. Rorty was known for his critiques of foundationalism, his advocacy for a more contingent and ironical understanding of truth, and his exploration of the possibilities for solidarity in a post-metaphysical world. Richard Rorty's influence extended far beyond the boundaries of academic philosophy, impacting fields as diverse as literature, cultural studies, and political theory. While he might not fit neatly into regional categorizations, his intellectual legacy has left an indelible mark on the trajectory of American thought, challenging conventional paradigms and encouraging a more pluralistic and pragmatic approach to philosophical inquiry. While I can certainly provide a few notable quotes from Richard Rorty, it's important to note that the ideas and philosophy of Rorty are complex and often best understood in the context of his written works. Here are some quotes that capture some of the key themes in his philosophy. The attempt to justify the practices of one's community to those who are not already members of it is a pointless and uninteresting activity, like trying to justify one's preference for chocolate ice cream or for living in the suburbs. Truth is not out there awaiting revelation. It is in here, a matter of what a community of knowers agrees upon. Philosophers are at the mercy of official classifications of their times, just as people who write the entry on mammals for an encyclopedia are at the mercy of official classifications of animals. The more interesting and fruitful task is to become aware of the way in which a description of reality frames what we think of as possible, and to try to change the frame. The best we can do is to cross our fingers and hope that by the time our own kids are writing fiction and poetry, Americans will be less ethnocentric, less religious, and more flexible in their response to novelty. Undironist theory offers us a way to keep the best of the Enlightenment, the fight against cruelty and ignorance, the ideals of liberty, equality, fraternity, the pursuit of happiness. A liberal ionist is someone who knows that argument phrased in the vocabulary of a particular metaphysical picture is bound to miss everything important about the subject. Solidarity is not discovered by reflection but created. It is not an inheritance but an achievement. The contingency of language is the central theme of my work. I think all philosophers since Kant have recognized that there is a sense in which language is what makes humans central to the universe. The distinction between having the truth and being good at getting things to work will disappear, and the problem of justifying knowledge will be replaced by the problem of acquiring it. The only truly objective account of the world is a causal historical account that explains how human beings came to have such and such a vocabulary and such concepts. The most important thing to learn about a language is its history, and the most important thing to learn about its history is which words had no previous history. The notion of a neutral observation language is the notion of a way of talking about the world that gets reality right without any distortion due to one's social or historical situation. A human being is somebody who uses a lot of words to tell himself a story about who he is, and he gets other people to believe the story. There is nothing deep down inside us except what we have put there ourselves. The attempt to draw the boundary between human beings and the rest of nature in such a way as to express a specifically moral aspiration is doomed to failure. In Freud's vision, human beings are perpetually at war, fighting off the guilt that the death of each of their ancestors causes them to feel. The ultimate human achievement is to succeed in selling one's idiosyncratic self to the public as a celebrity. The philosopher who urges linguistic self-consciousness is, in a deep sense, an enemy of inquiry, of a specific community of inquirers. Democracy is the art of running the circus from the monkey cage. We should forget about philosophical correctness, that is, about using the right descriptions in our descriptions of others. To renounce thinking of human equality as a proposition is not to reject it, but to refuse to keep asserting it. To describe a community as free is to praise it, and to offer a historical account of how it achieved this freedom is to give a philosophical description. The old distinction between what we cannot help doing and what we can is blurred and is being replaced by the distinction between what we cannot help doing and what we can get others to do. The mind is not a mirror. It does not reflect a reality that exists independently of it. Philosophy in America has traditionally been a sort of higher journalism. The distinction between mind and body is a byproduct of the distinction between public and private. There is nothing deep down inside us except what we have put there ourselves. To be a member of a community is to have one's identity constituted by the stories one tells about oneself. As we conclude this philosophical journey through the thoughts of Richard Rorty, we hope these insights have sparked contemplation and reflection. If you found these ideas intriguing and wish to delve deeper into the realms of philosophy, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow thinkers, and subscribe to the Wise Man Said channel. By subscribing, you'll ensure you don't miss out on future episodes exploring the wisdom of various philosophers and thought leaders. Let's continue this intellectual exploration together. Your support is invaluable, and we look forward to sharing more profound ideas with you on the Wise Man Said channel. Until next time, keep pondering, keep questioning, and keep the conversation alive.